So I want to tell you guys some stuff. I want to tell you something that well, if you may not have noticed, I'm a black guy. Hello, skin, black guy. And there are certain things that we learn that we hope never to actually have to experience in life. Um, One, like, be careful about, like, the actual, be careful around police. Stay woke, meaning that, keep your head on a swivel. Always be conscious of your surroundings. Be conscious of what's going on. The real meaning of the word woke. Also, like, when you're going in the criminal justice system, never make the judge mad. Never make the judge mad. Because when you make the judge mad, that's the person that's worrying about your sentences. I don't know. And the thing about it is, these people that were around during January 6th, that's actually running into the criminal justice systems, that they thought, but I'm white, I don't need to worry about that. They're realizing that even though the justice system isn't as just as we want it to be, some of the stuff that they doing are leading them into a path of, oh crap, this is what them colored people have been talking about. Especially some of the rich ones now. Boy, oh boy, this is being fun. And like, you guys know, I'm not one of those like, oh, the white people, all this, like, I'm not the super privileged, like, super, like, and super SJW type, leftist. Even though I think that people deserve their rights and you should treat people with some respect. Wait. Everybody needs to remember the fifth. Wait. This gets better. This is an exchange from a county clerk that actually tried to hack some of the voting machines because they wanted to prove that the election was off or stolen or whatever. I need y'all to see this interaction that this woman actually does and actually says to a judge. She needs a black mama, a black daddy, somebody black in her life, not to talk to a judge this way. Shall we? Let's go.
In the machine, whatever it tabulates is whatever it tabulates.
No, it doesn't. It changes.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay.
Whatever
please.
it tabulates is whatever it tabulates. My hand vote, my ballot remains the same. They counted those ballots.
Yes, Ms. Keeper, I highlighted the fact that some people still refer to black people as colored folks. Yes, I did. That is a thing that happens. There are people who still refer to black people as the colored or the blacks. Remember, somebody went on a hunger strike because they didn't give them organic food. All right, wait. Let's go.
Did they not?
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
Did they count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that it, I would encourage to read the report number 3.
She said, I'm going to move off of this because you just need to read the reports. You just need to read the report. Wait, what? Wait. This is a judge. They determine your sentencing. If she better be thankful this wasn't a bench trial, because she just told the judge, like, you didn't read the evidence. This is a judge. They have to read the evidence. What? Obviously, you didn't read the evidence. What? Let's go.
Read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports. They were given to me at some point, I believe.
Good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right.
If you read it, then you know what I said is true. She wasn't even looking at him. What she said, you can tell by the way her head is directed. Like, yeah, you better told you to read that. So I'm right. The judge let out a chuckle. Like, do you know I have your life in my hands? And I told you I don't agree with it. All right, let's go.
Let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
No.
Wait, you just sassed the judge, and he laughed at you because he knows his life is in your hand. He knows your life is on the line, and you just sassed the judge, and you got because he laughed. Somebody needs to get this woman a black auntie, a black mama, a black cousin. Somebody needs to get this woman at, because like she needs to understand. You don't talk to a judge that way. All right, let's go.
You're the one who's making this allegation that, one,
It's
I think
not
is
an
funny,
allegation.
and two, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that.
Okay.
That is why I made the sound, because it's insulting to me for you to just put that in a record in front of all of these people that I believe something to be true.
Okay, and I apologize for that, Your Honor. That wasn't my intent. I do apologize for that.
So here's the thing, and this is the most important part of it. More than anything, you have to realize that she had that interaction with the judge like right before the sentencing. She had this interaction with the judge right before the sentencing. And so here's the thing. This is the reason why I brought up the fact that black people have been saying that the justice system is, you don't make the judge mad before, you treat the court with respect and stuff like that. Especially if you're trying to, after you've done something that has been proven that you bragged is illegal. This is why I bring this up. Because this is the judge sentencing this woman. Let's go.
Here, the defense has, and Ms. Peters in particular, has remained quite defiant, which is her right, but certainly not helpful for her lot today. And in arguing why I should impose a particular sentence, she tells me about her ailments, her loss, her struggles in life. But in reality, for those of you who may have been here earlier this morning and seen some of the folks who've occupied that chair before Ms. Peters.
So, again, just all seriousness aside, we know that the criminal justice system needs to be changed. Either we need to actually look at, more rehabilitation, more versus just punishment in cases where it's punishment is warranted. We have to apply it in a just and unbiased state. And we need to address the things with the criminal justice system. But when you're openly defiant, when you're belittling a judge, and you're like literally just saying like, yo, I'm right, I'm right, that doesn't fly. Now, us black people, we have been saying that for the longest time, that we need to like do something about the criminal justice system. Even people that we've known that are criminals, prison reform is something, or the justice system reform is something that affects everybody. But when you actively insert your foot into your own mouth, and you say, well, no, you need to show me leniency. I have health concerns. But you're openly defiant as what this judge is actually saying now. Well, you've been playing stupid games. Time to win your stupid prize.
There could be not much in the way of a comparison in terms of the type of sympathy one would extend to Ms. Peters. Those folks didn't have 4 lawyers representing them. They didn't have a team of assistants helping them. They're not getting rides in private jets all over the country. No, the people who sit in that chair suffer, generally speaking, immeasurable trauma in life, struggle mightily with alcohol abuse, substance abuse, mental health struggles, family loss.
So, like, literally, he's going out. I was like, yo, like, I've seen people that sat in your chair that were actually more remorseful, that actually had to deal with being mentally ill, had to deal with family loss. They didn't have 4 lawyers. Yet she had 4 lawyers. She had assistants. She couldn't get off with 4 lawyers. 4 lawyers. She's getting flown around she's getting flown around the country because she's the hero that MAGA needs, but not well, I guess she is the one that they deserve. But let's go.
They come from broken homes. The cards they were dealt were never the cards that you were dealt, Miss Peters. So when I hear you discuss your husband, who sadly passed away recently, your family struggles, and your son, who served our country admirably and made the ultimate sacrifice, I consider it.
So this is the reason why I wanted to do this video. This is the reason why I searched for it. I want to send out my condolences for her recent loss. But for the judge to bring up the fact that her son served in the armed forces and lost his life to protect the Constitution, this judge is taking that as an insult to her son, that she would try to tamper with our elections. I think y'all need to understand the point that this man is actually making. And I'm not going to say, oh, y'all, base judge. Like, look, he is literally having to tell her, like, look, chick, your son gave up his life, no matter if you think it was an unjust war or not, but he gave up his life to hold up the Constitution. And you spat on that. That's like somebody grabbing you and saying, this person's sacrifice for the right to hold up our country. And you as his mother should understand. You spat on that. And it's for fame. It's for notoriety. How dare you sully the sacrifice of your own son for this? But let's go.
And I note, too, that he honored his oath to the country, something that is not lost on me when considering the circumstances under which you find yourself here. Your age, limited criminal history, and the like are certainly somewhat mitigating. Your ties to the community are what they are, but your reputation at this point is poor because of what you've done here and after. Your lies.
Hop to it. All right, let's go.
Are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen.
So he is literally saying, like, yeah, we know you lying. We have you on tape. We have the recording. You are caught in 4K. And shout out to RDC World 1. Who are literally coming up with that. People don't give them credit, but they came up with that. It's like, is this you? this is in 4K. They got you in 4K. He was the first person. They were the first person that actually said that. But like, yeah, no, for real. They was like, chick, we got you in 4K. Like, we know that you are lying. We got you. And to come up in this courtroom and just lie when we got you, you should have plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 5. The fifth. Just shut up on shutting up. That's what you should have done. But let's continue.
You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come.
Man.
And you use that privilege to obtain power, a following, and fame. And to be sure, there's no doubt in my mind that it's exactly what you wanted, and it defies all sense of common sense to believe when you suggested to me a few moments ago that you didn't want this attention. No, you crave it, ma'am.
He just said, nah, you don't. You want an attention, you need it. You put that in my veins. Attention. I need my 15 minutes of fame. Let's go.
And there is no one in this courtroom who would consider that to be anything other than the absolute truth. But to get to the point of what it is that you did here, it's my impression distinctly that you never took your job of clerking particularly seriously. You didn't complete the certification. One scandal after another followed you in your time as the clerk. And ultimately, it was a belief that the echo chamber in which you live couldn't be wrong.
Man, so if you actually thought that she cared about her job as a clerk, that she did what she did because, I know we have to keep the election, secure and valid and all that other good stuff. You're like, you ain't even finish your homework for the job. You didn't finish your homework. We saw you mess up. We saw you bring potato salad with raisins to the company lunch. We know what you doing, dog. We know that it's a lie. The cake is a lie. We know it. This was just about getting power for you. And if we go back to those previous videos that we did earlier, these are like people that, Joe Lewis wants to be a part of. Not saying he wants to be a part of MAGA, but he wants to be part of that ruling class. People that will do or say crazy stuff in order to get attention. Let's continue.
Among other things that led you to do what you did here. This thought process, unfortunately, seems to consume so many in our country, regardless of race, gender, political affiliation, or the like, that what it is we hear and think can't possibly be wrong. There are many things in my mind.
Potato salad with raisins and apple crunch. Apple chunks,
that are crystal clear about this case. You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about you. But at bottom, this case was about your corrupt conduct and how no one is above the law. No one.
That like, you don't get privileged, chick. You going to jail. Because you lied. We have you in 4K. You lied.
One in this country has absolute power. Your position as a clerk and recorder, a constitutional position, does not provide you with a means by which to do your own investigation, to not listen to the judiciary, to not listen to the executives higher than you, to not listen to the legislature who sets the law as it may be. This is nonsense. Our system of government can't function when people in government think that somehow, some way, the power they've been given is absolute in all respects. And that's where you...
This seems like a shot against what the Supreme Court just said, but I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like they had political leanings to say, oh, they did. Okay. All right, let's go.
Fell. You have no respect for the checks and balances of government. You have no respect for this court. You have no respect for law enforcement. And you do not have respect for your fellow colleagues when you were a clerk and recorder who weren't lockstep in your beliefs. Period.
It's like, you ain't even respect. You don't even respect yourself. You didn't even respect, and this is getting serious. You didn't respect the sacrifice that your son gave to the Constitution. You thought you just wanted power. And again, this is a case of the lepers are eating my face, because I can tell you this: if the people that she wants to get power gets power, well, those lepers are gonna be coming. Okay, let's go.
Indeed, just weeks before trial, you were apparently doing what I mentioned earlier, that is, over at the clerk and recorder's office where you're not supposed to be, violating the protection order by speaking to employees of that entity with your camera crew in tow.
You went to court to prove that you didn't do a crime that they have video of you doing. They put a restraining order on you from going to the place that you committed the crime, and you went there. Oh no, this is about publicity for her. She wants to show that she's a martyr, and the judge is about to give the nails for she can put herself on that cross. Let's go.
You have no qualms with violating the court's orders because you're innocent, because you didn't do anything wrong. You were just doing your job. You have no problem trying to kick an officer. Your explanation about what happened is preposterous. It's on video.
Wait, she kicked the officer too? Oh, she kicked the cop. Oh, she better be lucky she wasn't resisting arrest. Oh, you don't respect the court. You don't respect law enforcement. Oh, she about to get that book. She about to get that book thrown. He about to sit back and just like, yeah. All right, let's go.
You have no problem lying to officers. It's happened multiple times. They're recorded conversations. It's just more lies. No objective person believes them. No, at the end of the day, you cared about the jets, the podcasts, and the people fawning over you. Man. You abdicated your position as a servant to the Constitution, and you chose you over all else. Yes, you are a charlatan, and you cannot have...
Man, that's a 3-syllable insult. Charlatan. All right, let's go.
Help but lie as easy it is for you to breathe. You betrayed your oath for no one other than you. And this is what makes Miss Peters such a danger to our community. It's the position she held that has provided her the pulpit from which she can preach these lies. The undermining of our democratic process, the undermining of the belief and confidence in our election systems. It's not about questioning it. No one says you can't question, you can't ask. It's completely different. And if you don't understand that distinction, then there's nothing I can say or do here today that will change your mind. So the damage that is caused and continue to be caused is just as bad, if not worse, than the physical violence that this court sees on an all too regular basis.
Here's that wind up for that book.
And it's particularly damaging when those words come from someone who holds a position of influence like you. Every effort to undermine the integrity of our elections and public's trust in our institutions has been made by you. You've done it from that lectern the voting public provided you with. Everything you've done has been done to retain control, influence. The damage is immeasurable. And every time it gets refuted, every time it's shown to be false, just another tale is weaved.
So this is the reason, another reason why I brought up that previous video of her just telling the judge. Of course, you either you didn't read it or you just lying about not believing it, or you laughing at me because my life is on the line. This is behavior that you don't do for a judge that is handling your sentence. This is why this is hilarious, because there is video of her literally pushing a lie. They have it in 4K. But let's go.
So I'll begin by saying I've considered all of those purposes of staying of an execution of a sentence. I've mentioned.
She wanted, even though she was found guilty, she felt it was okay. It felt that it was one of those things where it just happened, and I'm not really guilty, even though I'm guilty, but I'm not really guilty. I shouldn't have to go to jail. Mind you, she actually literally argued with the judge at a time where she knew she was found guilty. So again, here's that wind-up for that book.
All of them here generally in my comments already, and I find that a stay of any sentence I impose would be wholly unwarranted. All cases have a possibility of reversal on appeal, no doubt. I'm at peace with all the decisions I've made here. If anything, I gave you and your counsel far too much leeway at times, but the rulings I made came after much consideration, incredible amounts of internal debate, and I trust in accordance with the applicable law. I consider the sentence here, in this case, what are available to me. Probation. Community corrections wasn't requested, but it wouldn't be an option in any event, and an incarcerative sentence to the Department of Corrections.
So here's the thing. He just throws out community service like, nah, that's not going to work, because the community gave you the trust of an elected office, and you took a dump on it. But let's go.
Probation's focus is rehabilitation. That is, for folks who have minimal criminal histories, low LSI scores like you, Ms. Peters, but where punishment isn't really on the table. It's about putting someone back in the community who's not a risk and giving them a chance to correct those things that brought them before me in the first place. Community corrections, which again isn't available, but nevertheless I'll mention, is another option that I could still order. It's much more stringent than probation, but it's not prison. And it's for folks who have even higher needs. Again, drug addicts, alcohol abusers, and the like. And prison is for those folks where we send people who are a danger to all of us. Whether it be by the pen or the sword or the word of the mouth.
Ooh.
Prison is where folks go, where punishment is what we're focused on, because the crime committed is so significant that anything less would unduly mitigate the seriousness of the same.
Wait for it.
I mentioned before there are no mental health concerns. There's no good reason why you're here, Ms. Peters, other than these are all the active decisions that you made that cost our county significantly, but also more importantly, cost you greatly, Mr. Wood, all the members of the county who worked and trusted you when you asked them to do things that they did on your behalf. It's part of your lies. The expense, the toll is immeasurable. So putting you on probation when you have zero needs that would be met by probation is the very definition.
This man says you don't deserve probation because it ain't gonna work. He spelled it out, specifically spelled it out. It was like, yeah, no, this not gonna work for you. Not only that, community service, again, it's not gonna work for you. So let's get down to the punishment.
Of unduly depreciating the significance of what it is that you've done here, the harm that you've caused our community and continue to cause. Community corrections is the same, so prison is the only place that duly meets the purposes of sentencing in this matter. And therefore the sentence and judgment of the court is as follows. As to counts 1 and 4, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years in the Department of Corrections. Those sentences will be concurrent to each other. As to count 2, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years consecutive to counts 1 and 4.
7 years.
As it relates to the misdemeanor charges, count 8 is 120 days
3 months
in the Mesa County Detention Facility, concurrent to count 9 and 10, which will be 6 months in the Mesa County Detention Facility, consecutive to the prison sentence. The reason those sentences are consecutive is because those sentences are, as the prosecution stated, directly related to what it is that you did here in our community, the damage you caused this community, the breach of your oath to the electorate in Mesa County.
There's that book.
Your sentence will be followed by 3 years of parole. You have 2 days of pre-sentence confinement credit.
There goes that. She got 3 years parole. But for what I count, that's about 8 years. There goes that book.
Anything I missed? Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed a sentencing on count 6.
Oh, you missed another sentencing on another count.
Oh, I'm sorry. Count 6 is criminal impersonation. That's also consecutive. That's 15 months to the Department of Corrections.
Another year, 3 months. Man. It's not that I'm laughing at the fact that somebody's going to jail because, jail sucks. It's the fact that she thought she can get away with it in 4K. But of course we know Donald Trump, our Trump God, our Trump Lord, our Trump and Savior. But this is what it costs you to have blind obedience to a person. And of course, all sycophants are a tyrant waiting for their turn. Inside every sycophant is a tyrant waiting for their turn. That's all this is. And she got her turn. She got her turn to go to jail for 9 years. But don't worry. If the election go as it should, she can call her Lord and Daddy, Donald Trump. But let's go.
So it's 8.5 years total, plus the 6 months for a total of 9 years of incarceration.
I ain't got it. I ain't got the 9 years, dog. I ain't got the 9 years on me, man. I ain't got the 9 years on me. And again, I'm not laughing at somebody's going to jail. That jail sucks. I don't know. It's just amazing to me that not only do we have you in 4K doing this stuff, but after you got arrested and you went to trial, you continue to do the stuff that would prove that you need to be found guilty. I hope the country has post-Trump nut clarity, like after this is over with. I hope it does, because this is just destructive. It's super destructive. And people like this that are falling for not just the lies, but the call of power, just makes it just sad. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. We're going to cut this video segment here. Thank you guys for watching, and cut it here. I want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters and my Twitch subscribers. Join the Guardians become a member or become a subscriber on YouTube, Patreon, and help support the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and the next one should be popping up on your screen. Subscribe, and if you haven't checked it out and want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon. Thanks.